Welcome to CEO Money. I'm Michael Yorba. Thanks for joining with us. I have Robert Cucin, and he is with BioSculpture Technology. He's the CEO. Robert, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you for having me.
All right, I'm glad you're here. Now, for the audience, just remind us what BioSculpture Technology does.
Sure. We are a medical device company that makes procedures and devices that emphasize dealing with fat metabolism, fat removal, and fat reinjection as an autograft. The company originally began in cosmetic liposuction, but we serendipitously discovered that our technology enabled us to take out the fat inside the abdomen underneath the muscles that hitherto could not be safely removed. So we retargeted the company more towards the treatment, the bariatric treatment and the removal of the fat which causes type 2 diabetes, the fat inside the abdomen. But we still have all of the technology that enables us to remove the superficial fat with cosmetic liposuction and body sculpting, and also a bunch of technology that allows us to capture it, do a minimal processing on it to allow it for an immediate reinjection as an autograft into the patient to correct scars and wrinkles.
All right. Now, there's been some new developments. Tell us about those.
Yes. We've moved to, pivoted to opening our centers of excellence earlier because we found it easier to recruit funding since this is an immediate revenue stream. And it's basically the model of under one roof having cosmetic liposuction, bariatric treatment of obesity and type 2 diabetes, fat collection, and reinjection for autografting for correction of wrinkles and scarring. What that allows us to do is every patient who comes into the door has either a wrinkle they want fixed, a little bulge of fat underneath the chin, or a love handle, or a bat wing that they want corrected, or they're obese and they need some help with the fat inside the abdomen. And to just kind of reiterate again why that fat inside the abdomen is bad, is the fat inside the mesentery, around your giblets, around your viscera, secretes a hormone that antagonizes insulin. It's called resistin, and it stops the sugar from going into your cells. What that makes happen is if the sugar doesn't go into your cells, it's excreted in the urine, and that's how you get the name for diabetes mellitus. It means sweet urine. And the sugar doesn't reach your brain, doesn't reach your muscle, so you don't have any energy, and you're hungry. That's the nature of what diabetes is and what happens with metabolic syndrome, which is caused by the visceral fat inside your abdomen. If we can take that out, what we're doing is like doing a thyroidectomy for somebody who's hyperthyroid. We're basically lessening their type 2 diabetes. If it's a mild case, making it go away. And it also secretes other bad hormones, angiotensin that causes high blood pressure, ghrelin, neuropeptide Y and ghrelin, both which cause insatiable hunger, the interleukins, and a tumor necrosis factor, which cause vascular disease, strokes, heart attacks, psoriasis, cancers, eczema. So we're treating all of the obesity-related diseases in one fell shot because we're taking the gland out and secreting the chemicals that cause them. That's what's so exciting about this. You basically get to use a technology that was originally just geared at cosmesis, and all of a sudden you're actually helping somebody get more healthy at the same time. So somebody would get on the operating room table. We'll take out their beer. We'll improve their beer belly. We'll take care of their muffin top. But they'll get off the table. They'll be healthier. And over the next 4 to 6 months, they'll lose some large multiple of the relatively small amount of fat we've removed from their abdomen. You know, they've cinched their belt a couple of inches, but over the next couple of minutes, they'll cinch the belt a whole lot more and they'll be healthier. We don't know the exact multiple of which they'll lose. From the animal studies, we'll expect it to be somewhere between 7 and 10. So in other words, if we take out 3 to 4 liters, 8 to 10 pounds, they're going to lose somewhere between 7 and 10 pounds, 7 and 10 times that amount of weight, which is a lot, more than the other procedures. But if it's less than that, no big deal, because we're not cutting into the abdomen. We're not cutting into the bowel. We're just making tiny little poke holes, little keyholes. It's a minimally invasive laparoscopic procedure. We're not rearranging the body's plumbing. We're not leaving behind a foreign body, so the procedure can be repeated with, much greater safety than the other procedures. And the only side effect is the company will make a little bit more money because we'll sell more razor blades. It's basically the subscription-based model. There's a piece of hardware that goes with every procedure. As a kit, Lap-Band sells a kit for $2,500 with every procedure. We'll underprice them by a third, so the insurance companies will love us, and we can do that with an 82% profit margin, gross margin. So it makes sense for the insurance company, makes sense for the patient, makes sense for the doctors.
Brilliant. All right, you're opening up some centers of excellence to work with?
Yes, we want to open them in New York and in Palm Beach. And the centers, as I stated, will will basically center on just fat out, fat in. Liposuction, bariatric surgery, fat autografting. So the stem cells that are derived from fat. And we'll get also into the stem cells that are chondrocytes that are derived from fat that can help people like marathoners like you and me who need some cartilage in our knees. That will be one of the very first applications, for autografts other, than just into skin.
All right. Do you wanted to cover the fourth generation?
Yes. To kind of track through history a little bit, the first generation was a single vibrating cannula that moved back and forth to make it less traumatic for the patient, with shortening healing, shortening recuperation, and lessening the surgical drudgery of doing the procedure. Made it easy. The doctor was still stroking the device back and forth underneath the skin manually, but it moved through the tissue with less resistance. And that was the device I licensed out to Mentor. Ethicon wound up acquiring it. It created a $500 million a year power-assisted liposuction market. I founded BioSculpture Technology in 2001 on the second generation of that technology. That took the tube that was reciprocating and put it inside a sheath. That meant every time it moved back and forth, it didn't impact the patient. And the doctor didn't have to move it at all. All the doctor had to do was position the sheath with the slot where he or she wanted the tissue removed. So it literally unleashed the artist and the surgeon, because the doctor had a device he didn't have to stroke 10,000 times a minute. She could just put it anywhere she wanted on the body. And the tubes didn't have to be straight. They could be curved like a question mark. So if you had a 400-pound patient, you didn't have to have the team of 4 orderlies come in and assist you to move the patient on his side or her side to get at the back of the patient. You could use a curved tube because the body is curved. The second generation was pneumatic, as was the first. The third generation was a plug-into-the-wall device. It's an electrical device. We use the same kind of electromagnetic coil ramping that the U.S. military uses to catapult our planes off our carriers. We brought this online for 1.3 million, as opposed to the billions that the Navy used. But the fourth generation takes it one step further. We make it less traumatic and faster to aspirate the fat. And we've got a new patent application going for that right now, so I can't be in great detail. But suffice it to say that it makes it faster, makes it less traumatic, and it makes it that even tinier cannulas can be used. So it'll be less invasive than it is right now. So basically that's what's new. We've got a 4th generation device, a 4th generation cannula design. Our production is being retooled into the 3rd generation, which is the electromagnetic actuation of all three of our devices. We're bringing in three devices, and all three use the electromagnetic actuation. One of them can quite literally be plugged directly into the wall without even using the controller. So it's kind of a low-end device that can be used in the less well-equipped spas and operating rooms. The second generation device was the tube within a tube, and now it has electric actuation, so it doesn't need the tank gas anymore.
Wow, brilliant. Bob, thanks for being a guest on this show, and thank you. I know that you've got a track record of success, and this is definitely good luck on that patent, and this is definitely going to help a lot of people.
Thank you, Mike. Well, we've got 8 now. We've got 2 others in the queue, and this is the 11th we're filing. So we've already got protection on both the method and the device. This is kind of like the next level up.
Great.
Thank you very much for having me on the show.
My pleasure. All right, you've been watching CEO Money with Michael Yorba. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.